they
second, just
said
give
once
it
they
a
saw the And then Ashland will be 13 in May, and Madison will be 13 in
I'm
September.
gonna say, otherwise you can ride them bumps. From the naughty list, but you can't do that.
But of course, I was sitting there trying not to snicker because I kind of thought it was funny too.
Yeah, I know, it would be. I think it would be funny. Like you said, with some scary kind of.
I've done that numerous times.
Oh, figured, yeah, see, mine's guy, must be a guy thing, you think?
No, because I would have done it too, I thought about it.
It's a sense of humor.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we do the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, call the meeting to order and do a roll call, please.
Trustee Lopez, Trustee McMahon, Trustee Lacewell, President Bank.
Here.
Trustee AG.
Here.
Trustee Wolford.
Here.
Trustee Pennell.
Here.
Tom Green.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we can continue. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the
Can
agenda.
I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next are the minutes. These are the minutes of the committee meeting on November 11th. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you. Next, we're gonna do the bills. I'll go over the bills. We have the two halves of the testing contract for $39.58.33 and $39.58.34. Water testing for 118 and 17 and 17. Sewer testing 146. Air gas, it's a lease renewal, 270.95. Biscotti Computers, 126. Collins Sanitary, 1170. Gale Romine, 190. Casey's, 120.99. KPH, 1441.01, that's for the sewer plant. Automotive Solutions, 8531. Harvard, we had oil change, 8206. Frontier, 445.30 and 982.70. Sickich, 24.98. Barrick Swisser, 45.90. Menard, 71.72. 65.36. 36.97 and 14.42. Total is 24.05.40, of which 95.28.39 will come out of the general fund and 10.877.01 will come out of water and sewer. Any questions or comments? Can I have a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion to pay the
Can I have a
bills.
second?
I'll second it.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee McMahon, Trustee Lacewell, President Bank.
Aye.
Trustee AG.
Aye.
Trustee Wolford.
Aye.
Trustee Pennell.
Aye.
Trustee Lopez and Trustee McMahon. I'm sorry, Trustee.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Any public comments? Cool, all right. Raffles, that's the first thing on the item here. Tom wrote an ordinance to reword the requirements for the, as far as the permit goes, to allow nonprofits to have multiple raffles under one permit. But I'm gonna have to ask him to revise it one more time.
Oh,
Okay.
no problem.
It was brought to my attention, the fire department has a raffle, they have a meat raffle, and my understanding is that they have a permit through the county for their raffle.
Okay.
So I think we should put something in here that says if the entity has a permit through the county, they don't have to get a permit through the village.
They probably don't need to get both, but going forward, they could get their permit from us if they're inside the Capron limits.
Yeah, I get it, but if they've got a permit already from the county,
Well, do they, is it a multiple?
I don't know, that's something I would have to check.
Check with them,
Okay.
because their next permit could just come from us,
Right,
and then from us thereafter. So
okay.
check with them.
All right, I will, all right. At any rate, this changes it so that actually the effective paragraph says each license shall be valid for one raffle during a specified period not to exceed 1 year. An applicant meeting all of the qualifications for a license may request a license for a series of raffles, no more than one per month for up to 12 months, and any license may be suspended or revoked, etc. that was the big change that we asked for, okay? So that the food, the Three Pups Pantry can do their once a month for 1 year under one permit, okay? All right, so we're not gonna vote on that, that's for next week.
Yeah, we
next-
comment on the
Next meeting, yeah,
raffle application. I think it's very good that we get the word out that anybody holding a raffle has to fill out this application. I have one comment, but I'll talk to you later about it, Crystal, just to identify that you can only get a raffle permit if you are a nonprofit or religious or educational or fraternal or like a union or something. Just a regular private business isn't entitled to get a raffle.
So you're right, actually, now that you say that, I wanted to put that in there, but I didn't know what the ordinance number was going to be, so I was actually just gonna reference that, I was gonna reference that one, in that one empty space right there.
Yeah, that's kind of what
Yeah.
we'll talk,
Okay.
I'll show you what I
Okay.
think, and you can do, either do that or whatever. So we'll figure it out.
So I have one question.
yeah.
So you just said that this is for nonprofits, so that for-profits cannot have raffles?
No, they cannot. It's against the law. State statute. I've got it here if you want to look at it.
So then if Stumble has raffles,
But
They're,
they don't, their
They
fire
don't.
department is having a
They
raffle.
don't,
need
Stumble
raffles.
doesn't actually have the raffles. The fire department goes in there, they're the ones that pull the permit.
And the other ones have been for somebody, the girl that was sick, that Vermont girl, they had a raffle for that. I
Yeah, so
know.
They
that one
can't
is
do that
different, yeah.
anymore.
But that was before we knew any of this. But
Because
no, the fire department.
They have to be a
is the one that
registered
pulls the permit.
nonprofit, and they're not gonna become a
Exactly.
registered nonprofit for,
Well, we do have on here like the beneficiary, wouldn't that, I mean, they still.
they gotta, by the time they get their paperwork done, okay?
They
this
can't.
isn't us coming down hard on anybody, it's just we've researched the law and what the state statute says, and we have to follow.
Follow
the
what
state
they
statute.
say.
Yeah,
I didn't know it existed, so it's good to know it, I
yeah,
think.
I mean, I'm sorry, we're just gonna have to let people know that that's not gonna, we can't allow it anymore. I don't know how they're gonna get around it, but, yeah, that's the state statute, there's nothing we can do, okay?
Well, I would like to say though, outside of that one raffle that just happened recently, I've only known of the fire department doing raffles at Stumble.
Oh, yeah, but we're gonna have to
Right, of course,
communicate.
I know, I'm just
Well,
saying.
I know
that's
what the
all.
Lions did when, Angie,
The Lions is a nonprofit,
okay,
So-
so they can hold it there even though it's for somebody that they're doing it, okay.
okay?
You know, Lions would probably be eligible to get a license. Lions, the Kiwanis Club,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, or if church
Yeah.
needs it for somebody, they can do it.
I'm definitely a
Church can,
nonprofit.
those are
so-
not-for-profit.
okay. Yeah, I'm definitely a nonprofit, so I should be able to handle it.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
no.
No, okay, all right. Okay, next is the well house. I just want to let everybody know, last Wednesday, I went to the well house with Craig Wilcox. He and Gina DeRose are going to be here at our December 23rd meeting to go over what they found, what they think could be done, what they think it might cost, what the requirements are and what the restrictions are for creating a preservation committee, and what that committee is going to be allowed to do and not be allowed to do, and what the rules and regulations for that committee are gonna be. So, when they get here, I'm gonna let each of them make their presentation, and we can have a question and answer session so everybody understands what's going on, okay? So they will both be here at the next meeting. I just wanna let you know that.
Okay.
Next is the 2021 building codes. I'm not gonna give you all a copy because it's like 3 books worth, okay? And I just want you to know, I've been talking to Craig Wilcox about the 2021 building codes. Basically, we've been waiting for Belvedere and Boone County to adopt the codes. They have, Winnebago has, Winnebago County, Rockford has, everybody pretty much has except us. And the reason we haven't done it is because we were waiting to see if those other entities were going to pull any exceptions of the building code so we could be,
No,
be
it's all
be on the same wavelength as they are. And Craig told me that they approved these in total, all right? So I would like to get these approved, get our ordinances updated. Basically what it means is they've adopted the new technologies that are used in building. They've upgraded some of the safety requirements for public buildings. Not that they're retroactive, but for anything going on forward, they've changed requirements, et cetera. If anybody has any questions about these, we can talk to Craig about it when he's here to talk about well, house number 1 at the next meeting, and then we can make up our minds, okay? All right. Next, I have Pam Fettis here from Growth Dimensions, and she basically has an investment opportunity that she would like to talk to us about. So Pam, I'm going to give you the floor.
Should I stand right here? Okay. Good evening. Thank you for taking the time today. I'm Pamela Lopez Fettis. I'm the CEO for Growth Dimensions Economic Development for Belvedere, Boone County. And we're a small group, but we are a private-public partnership organization. And what we are is the driving force for business growth in Boone County. We accomplish this by emphasizing logistical strengths for our region. We create opportunities and new investments by expanding the tax base. We enhance employment opportunities, residential growth, and a skilled workforce. We also support infrastructure opportunities. We also manage the enterprise zone. In fact, I think that was the last time I was in front of this group, was when we made some changes to the enterprise zone program. We do that on behalf of all the taxing bodies in Boone County. This year, we've contributed to significant milestones and impact. We've had about 2.5 million square feet of occupied commercial and industrial space that has been added. We've had 3,600 new jobs that have been created and a $4 billion capital investment in our region. We've been recognized by the leadership, by the State of Illinois General Assembly. We've received a Silver Award in Excellence in Economic Development 2 years in a row from the International Association of Economic Development. We've also hosted the standing U.S. President that visited Boone County to celebrate the new projects in the automotive industry. In the last 2 years, we've had 2 projects that have won the Best Non-Manufacturing Project of the Year by Area Development. And this coming year, what we want to do is increase our projects and our efforts and our targets and our programs. We want to generate new opportunities for development, and we want to formalize some programs in growing industry sectors. And we want to support the growth by attracting skilled workforce and skilled labor and increasing the opportunity for residential and housing and our future, like I said, our future workforce. But we basically are the only economic development arm that does site selection and help our businesses grow in our region. And we've been working very closely with Capron, and we would like Capron and the village to consider us for an investment opportunity in Growth Dimensions. So we rely on investments that help foster and let us do the job that we're doing. And I have our brochure, if that's okay if I can hand that out. You're welcome. Thank you.
Where exactly is there development opportunities in Capron?
Did you?
Oh, I have it. I already printed it for everybody.
He asked a question,
Where is there development
Yeah,
opportunities?
because there's not many places you can build in Capron anymore that are buildable.
Well, there is a lot of opportunities off 76 for
That
both
we'd have
housing
to,
and commercial and
we'd have to annex in, which would cost money and have to use resources on.
annexing in is a way that you could, yes.
There's
Build
not
those
much
resources.
places outside Capron too that you can really build on.
Well, you have a lot of infill opportunities too, right here off the corridor. We've been working with businesses in this area, right off 173, on investment opportunities and improvements into their building so they can occupy.
I'm not saying that's bad, but it doesn't seem like Capron fits that opportunity much. We don't really have any opportunities to build here.
Well, we would work with the
if
council.
if we had a developer come in and want to annex into the village, either for an industrial park or a housing development, first of all, that's gonna be a conversation that we're gonna talk about as far as how are they going to invest in the village,
Then
not
why
just-
would we split the money? Why wouldn't we just work with them directly? That's basically what I'm hearing is we'd split the money.
Because a lot of times these organizations contact the economic development arm of the local government to find out where they think it's feasible that they could come in and make this presentation, all right? But the fact remains, if somebody did do that, we're not gonna be holding the bag. We're gonna require that these people make an investment in the village through infrastructure and other means.
Well, it sounds
And not
like
just,
that.
let me finish.
Okay.
And not just come in here, purchase a piece of property, get it annexed in the village, build up whatever we're gonna build, take their money and run. No, that's not gonna happen. We won't let that happen, all right? There are going to be costs involved on their end to counter whatever expenses that the village is going to incur. And that, we've talked about this in length, and I've talked about it with the
Well-
next group too. We have a situation in this village that, first of all, we are being constricted by our infrastructure system, because we cannot just extend our water lines and our sewer lines infinitum, because we don't have the sewer plant to hold it. We don't have the infrastructure in this part of town to handle the additional pressures and stuff that would be required to expand, and maybe even have to put in a second water tower. Now, these are all dreams. This is gonna happen tomorrow, but it could happen, okay? And the fact remains, with somebody like Pam in economic and growth dimensions, and the next organization, R1, these are the organizations that help you find the funds to allow you to expand. I mean, the one thing I would like to do very much is get all the storefronts downtown filled in so that they're not empty and decaying. We can't do that in a little town of 1,400
No,
people.
I don't think we should be expanding.
Excuse me, I'm not finished.
Okay.
We can't do that in a town of 1,400 people. This town would have to grow some in order to sustain its own businesses in town, all right? We just don't have we don't have the traffic, we don't have the pedestrian flow that is required to do that sort of thing. And if someday, if Chrysler opens up in Belvedere and they got 3,000 jobs coming, and somebody wants to put a bedroom community in here, we would have to take a look at that. But a lot of times they get steered this direction by these organizations. And a town that isn't growing is dying, okay? It's just the way it is, all right? I mean, if you take a look at all the storefronts that we have downtown here, I want you to think about how long they're gonna stand like that. Because they're not.
Them are empty.
Okay? They're empty. And because they're empty, they're falling apart, because nobody's putting any money into them. All right? The same thing with a lot of play. And this town's no different than any other small town. We all have the same problems. But we have possible opportunity to do something about it. It may not even happen in my lifetime,
Then
but it's gotta happen eventually.
Why don't we wait till that time comes and then contact them?
Because it's a conversation you should start to have now. It doesn't mean it's gonna happen in the
I
next
just
10
know
years.
that we have a sewer plant that's straining already, so,
It's not strained already.
well, we're replacing parts every.
It's old. When you're old, you're gonna get parts replaced too, okay?
So you want to strain our sewer system then?
Maybe
That's
we
not
should
what
let
we're
Pam
saying.
Continue her presentation.
Yeah, let
All
Pam
right.
continue.
So this is how typically it works. We're usually the first point of contact for businesses or development. And the reason people are contacting us is because we're doing marketing outside the area. We're talking to developers, we're talking to site selectors. We talk to a lot of people outside that they make these decisions. We talk about our assets and what's the benefit of our community. And it's because of that, and you're right, the traffic and the growth, we share those numbers, we share those assets, we share those benefits, we share the quality of life, which is, different for everybody, but, we are very special. We have a unique, I think, thing to sell. And so we share that information to those individuals. They contact us and we work with them, and then when they are ready, or maybe they've decided on a location, then we introduce them to the taxing bodies. Sometimes it's months, sometimes it's years, sometimes it's immediate. It doesn't always happen, but a lot of times we work with them prior to convince them, and we're competing with other locations, other states, other cities, and that's what we're there to do, is to keep up in front of that, ensuring what the benefits are of being here in our community. So, that's what we're doing. We're doing this before you even talk to a developer, before you even might see a project. And yes, there are definitely infrastructure challenges, and that's why we work with Region 1 Planning Council, we work with a lot of other partners, we work with the state, we work with, try to connect them with those resources that help limit your cost and their cost, to make it more palatable, so everyone benefits in the community. But I do believe the same thing, if you don't invest in something, it will die. And you have to keep on feeding something and for something to grow. And it's not just the businesses growing, getting businesses here, it's helping the ones that are here. And so, this community is just a benefit to our entire region, and it has definite assets that we'd like to continue to market.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Can I ask one thing? Because half of our board is not here tonight, I would like to request that she comes back to another meeting so that if they have questions, she can answer them as well before
Excellent.
any decisions are made.
yeah, I don't see the reason why we can't.
I'd be
do
glad
that.
to.
Okay,
Thank you.
how about after the first of the year, we'll do it,
Okay.
okay? Get through the holidays, okay? Anybody got any questions for Pam? Okay, next we have an organization called R1. This is like a planning council, and the first person up is Paige, and then we're gonna hear from Eric, okay?
Hi, how are you? Here's just the
Thank you very much.
materials.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm Paige Withero. I'm the Senior Policy Associate at R1. I'll cover two of the topics that we cover. It's a government-to-government agency. There's a lot of different topics under our umbrella. I think two of the biggest ones that will matter here will be our Economic Development District and then our Northern Illinois Council of Governments, and then Eric will go over Brownfield Development and our Land Bank. So based on the conversation, our Economic Development District is probably the most important based on the conversations here. So our federally designated Economic Development District falls under R1, which includes Boone County. It is Winnebago, Boone, and McHenry counties. And under that, we are able to offer grant services. So when it comes to main corridor redevelopment, anything like that, it can fall under our Economic Development District at fee-for-service. There's more information on there. So if there's any specific topics, I know we've talked to Mayor Banks about specific topics on that, but we have a whole grants team where they will look into grants for you, make sure that if there's anything that comes up, it's sent your way. And then if you're unable to write them, we're able to do that through fee-for-service work. So that's a big part of our Economic Development District. And we also have an Infrastructure Priorities Playbook. That's an annual document that is updated. We'll send out a submission form where you're able to submit different projects for water, sewer, infrastructure, or solar, any energy projects. And that's compiled, they're ranked into specific categories, and then that's delivered to our state and federal delegations, so that if they have extra money in the state budget or the federal budget, they can easily go through and see these are the projects in my district, this is what I want to have funding for if this is something you want to have in the budget. And then what I work on most of the time is the Northern Illinois Council of Governments. That is 4 counties, 27 different local governments that come together bi-monthly to solve problems regionally. It's a membership organization. The membership fee, yearly fee, is $2,500. But this is a way for mayors to come together and solve the problem together. So whether Capron has a problem, or Rockford has a problem, or even Boone County has a problem, we're able to solve it together. We do a lot of legislative advocacy, education for different elected officials, or just any government employees. Those are big ones. We have a yearly annual legislative luncheon, which was this afternoon, where we have a panel of our legislators come up and speak to what happened in the past assembly and what's going to happen in the future. So that's a big one that we have every year, but our meetings to solve problems regionally are some of the biggest parts. Before Eric goes into the brownfield redevelopment and land banks, are there any questions? I kind of just threw a lot at you.
I don't have any at this time.
Again, my same comment would be to have them also come
Yeah,
back.
and-
They're presenting to us because they're here tonight, but also have them come back so that they
So
can.
the
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, we didn't know that half the board wasn't gonna be here tonight, so.
Not a problem, and I can be brief about our brownfield program and our land bank program. Our brownfield program is a $1 million EPA grant that R1 received for Boone and Winnebago counties. And what that does is if we have a potential property that may have a redevelopment, so like you just mentioned the storefront that's closed, if it fits under the EPA's definition of a brownfield, so if there was a fill station nearby, an old gas station, doesn't have to be an old industrial use, it can just be kind of in the area. We can go and assess the property to see if there's any contamination there, what types of steps would need to be to get that property cleaned up. What we do need in order for this to work is a property owner that obviously wants to cooperate, will give us an access agreement in order for us to do that type of activity, but the benefit is that we hopefully get closer to a redevelopment opportunity, whether it's through that property owner or if they're looking to sell the property to a new owner, we could use our funding through US EPA to do that type of work. So generally, old buildings that we have an owner that we know maybe either looking to do something or sell is a good one. You can just send them our way and we can send the address or the property owner our way and we can see if it fits in our brownfield program. And then the land bank focuses more on specifically housing. Generally dealing, I'm sure you don't have many vacant houses here, but in the other areas we serve all the way, Stevenson, all the way to Lake County. So we have a big territory for the land bank, but we deal with vacant lots and vacant houses, mostly vacant lots that, again, we have an owner that either maybe has passed away and there's no heirs to the property, so it falls in the delinquent tax system, or somebody that just simply says, I don't want this lot anymore, maybe I moved away, or his grandma's old lot. And we are a good spot for people to either donate the land or we can take the land on through a number of different acquisition methods. And then we will find somebody to either build, or if it's a house rehab, that's our job, is to get a good use back to that lot. So anything kind of the old dingy buildings, the old dingy lots, anything that comes your way in that world, we're happy to at least take a look at and give you a couple of ideas on what we can do. So the brownfield program, there's no cost for the village to be a part of that. If a property is something that we want to address through the land bank, there's no cost to that. We have sustainable funding on the land bank side to pay for all of the work and get to an outcome that we all agree upon. So, yeah, happy to answer questions via email. If you have addresses, feel free to send them our way. We're happy to take a peek.
Okay, thanks.
Great.
I won't like to reschedule you guys again after the first of the year.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you. That's all I have on the agenda for tonight. Does anybody have anything?
Just a reminder that Christmas in Capron is this Saturday from 5 to 7.
And Santa Claus will be here.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Happy